Okay, this is the attic video. Come up the stairs here. What we have here is an open cell spray insulation foam. An open cell, and that's your insulation. There's no insulation on the attic floor. And this is a very good insulation, but it is sponge-like. So the roof system, it's imperative that the roof system be maintained, because once water gets inside of this, it's going to hold it next to the roof decking. It's going to be very difficult to ascertain exactly where a roof leak is coming from. This is your water heater. It's a Navian. It's a tankless water heater. We have a care and use manual down there. Get my pointer out. This is the safety pan, which I'm glad to see. Now, I'm going to need to do some reading, because that looks like that's where you're right up in there, that little black. That looks like it's a condensation drain. Again, I'll do a little bit of reading. I've got a manual right here. And if that is the condensation drain, if it's not, I'll be apologizing, but if it is, then we should have a new, I believe the manual is likely to tell us that we should have a neutralizing filter. These are your air ducts. The air duct is not supposed to be kinked or restricted like this. Kinked or restricted like this. You're not supposed to have more than a ½ inch sag in your runs. It's not supposed to sag as much as a ½ inch or more. This is some of the electrical cable in the attic. And it's not supposed to be pinched like that. That restricts the flow of the electricity. Coming on along as you come up, come to your right is a sagging air duct again. Lots of sagging air duct here. As we come along, these are the indoor air handlers. Both are the indoor air handlers. I cannot read the data plate on this one because mastic has been sealed. It's a high efficiency unit, which means that you have condensation lines for your furnace. They tie into the air conditioning system right there. These lines should have a neutralizing filter. And this is both systems. This is the downstairs. One behind us is the upstairs. This handle doesn't work. We don't have care and use manual. These drain lines, this is your primary drain line for your evaporator coil. The primary evaporator drain lines do not have P-traps. I thought they might, but they don't. These are where you change your air filters. This is on both of them. The left side on this one, the right side on the other one. They're both identical. They're both 20 by 25 by 4. And you change these about whenever the manufacturer says that you should. I usually say once a month, but a lot of manufacturers are saying 4 times a year. So whatever the manufacturer decides is I'll go with. These gas lines on the floor, they're pretty much out of the way, but they should have a board next to them, and painted red, a curb, if you will, to keep people from stepping on your gas lines. So you don't want people stepping on your gas lines. That's no good. So they should be protected with a little curb. Coming over here, so this is downstairs, this is upstairs. Air filters over here on the right. I couldn't get into this guy. I mean, these things are all messed up. Turn, missing, these clasps on both the units. The clasp needs some attention. No care and use manual again. We got a data plate over here for our evaporator coil. Right there. And the same things. We do not have a P-trap. We do not have... they're identical. They're installed by the same guy. Did the same things. We do not have a neutralizing filter. We use double-edged perforated tape. So that's all of it right there. This is a framing architectural detail, if you will. It's called a palm bracing. The thing with palm bracing is the code is relatively silent about it. As long as it's transferring the load path, then it's generally considered to be acceptable. You're going to have a hard time finding it in a framing manual. It's more of a field application. It does protect the load path. It doesn't offer you very much, if any at all, resistance to uplift. But again, I'm not saying it's right, it's common. Saved by the bell.